For presentation. As we told you in one of our top stories, Alhaji Mohammed Abubakar, the Imam of the Boya Central Mosque, has beckoned on the Muslim population and Cameroonians in general to learn to do themselves what they want others to do to them. Honorin Cheng says he made this plea during celebrations marking the Feast of the Sacrifice, which took place today all over the national territory. Follow her report.
The
Imam of the Boya Central Mosque has admonished Cameroonians to live a life of self-sacrifice just like the Prophet Ibrahim. This assertion he made this day during the Feast of the Sacrifice as Muslim faithful gathered in celebration all over the region.
To sacrifice, this is what we're informing our Muslim brothers and sisters and those who participated in the prayer session to understand that it's always good to sacrifice what you need most. Prefer for your brother what you think is good for yourself.
During the second part, the Imam Alhaji Abubakar prayed for a return to peace in Cameroon in the East region, the Far North region, the North and Southwest regions, amongst others.
To restore peace and tranquility in our two regions. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bring peace and tranquility in the northern part of our country caused by Boko Haram. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala restore peace in the eastern region caused by these terrorists.
The three-part event, which began with the arrival of the Muslim community, important dignitaries as well as friends and family, then proceeded to the prayer session proper.
One thing about the masjid, the mosque construction, we understand that it was deliberate that we prayed here. It's small, but at least those who have been contributing their small money, they have seen how far we've gone. And so we're appealing to the entire world, Cameroon, Muslims and non-Muslims alike. This is the only lone mosque we have here, and so we'll be very glad if they come to our aid.
The Feast of the Sacrifice is never complete without the symbolic slaughtering of the ram. This action is often repeated year in, year out, as we remember that Ishmael was replaced or exchanged with the ram.
The message the faithfuls are carrying home, which is to drive them, is that they should be respecters of law. Who created humanity gave strict instructions, which are in form of commandments. And so those commandments, once they are respected, we are definitely going to have salvation.
The governor of the Southwest region, the mayor of the Boya municipality, His Royal Majesty Evanjo Ebonyoki, the parish pastor of the Synod office, the president of the Southwest Regional Assembly, and a host of others were present. Friends and family and well-wishers will now proceed to the celebration proper.
Honorin Cheng ending that report. Today, Muslim faithful across Cameroon and the world over celebrate Eid al-Adha, the Feast of the Sacrifice. Here in Boya, the Boya Central Mosque hosted hundreds of worshippers for the Eid prayers and the symbolic sacrifice of the ram. Our reporter, Natalie Juma, brings us the significance of the acts of sacrifice of a ram during such events by Muslim faithful.
The Muslim faithful from various communities in Boya converged on the Boya Central Mosque, where the atmosphere was a one of prayer, unity and reflection. Shortly after the Eid prayer, led by the Imam of the Boya Central Mosque, Alhaji Mohammed Abubakar, the ritual sacrifice of the ram began in line with the Islamic rules and regulations. The killing of the ram on Eid al-Adha commemorates the start of Prophet Ibrahim, known as Abraham in other faiths. According to Islamic belief, Ibrahim was commanded by Allah to sacrifice his son Ishmael as a test of faith. At the last moment, Allah provided a ram to be sacrificed in Ishmael's place.
You see, we live now in chaos because people do not want to follow simple instructions. Abraham and his son Ishmael, God just instructed them, submit. Abraham saw this in a dream. And when he told the son accepted. And to sacrifice, this is what we're informing our Muslim brothers and sisters and those who participated in the prayer session to understand that it's always good to sacrifice what you need most. Prefer for your brother what you think is good for yourself. Don't harm, because harming will invariably come back to you.
Today, the sacrifice is not just about the act itself. It carries three key meanings: obedience and faith, which go further to remind Muslim faithful of Ibrahim's complete submission to Allah's will. It's a call for believers to place trust and obedience above personal desire. It equally transcends charity and sharing. The meat from the sacrifice ram is divided into three parts: one for the family, one for relatives and friends, and one for the poor and needy. At the Boya Central Mosque, community leaders emphasize that this act ensures no one is left out of the celebration, reinforcing social solidarity in our communities. Also, the feast equally signifies spiritual renewal, which marks the end of Hajj, the annual pilgrimage to Mecca. For Muslims who are not on pilgrimage, the sacrifice serves as a personal act of devotion, cleansing, and renewal of their commitment to Allah. It is worth noting that the sacrifice of the ram remains a central act of worship that connects millions of Muslims to the legacy of Prophet Ibrahim while promoting charity and community.
In the meantime, Muslim faithful have been advised to live a life of obedience towards the laws of Allah as enshrined in the Holy Quran. This supplication was made by the Imam of the Mal 17 Mosque, Sheikh Harun Rashid, on the occasion of the Feast of the Sacrifice in Boya, southwest region of Cameroon. Honorin Cheng paid particular attention to that report and now brings us the details.
The Imam of the Mai 17 Mosque, Sheikh Harun Rashid, has joined the Muslim community alongside friends and administrative officials to celebrate the Feast of the Sacrifice. His message was loud and clear.
Anything that will go against the Islamic law, and don't engage yourself in anything that will go against the state law. So that was the center of our message.
Besides striving to sacrifice for one another, learning to live in obedience, yet another core value that the Muslim man and woman have been called upon to live by as law demands. The representative of His Royal Highness the Chief of Bomaka joined the Muslim community to share in one love, understanding, and live in peace above all.
As you can see, all Cameroonians from all the 4 angles of the country are here, and even other nationals. It really goes a long way to show how we have that national integration. And with the freedom of worship, some of us who are not Muslim have joined our Muslim brothers and their families to help them celebrate such an occasion like this.
Today's take-home message emphasizes the need for peace and security in a nation like Cameroon.
Without peace and security, everybody is not going to be here. So peace is very essential, and wherever we go to after this celebration, we have to put at the back of our mind.
The significance of the Feast of the Sacrifice cannot be overemphasized.
The day when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed a very big miracle in the history of Ibrahim alayhi salam. You know, Allah asked Ibrahim to sacrifice his only son, Ismail. And when he submitted himself, and the child who submitted himself, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala replaced that child with a big ram. That's why you see, after prayer, immediately we sacrifice the rams.
The Feast of the Sacrifice is proof that Cameroonians have mercifully turned out to show maximum love and support in the spirit of oneness with their Muslim counterparts at the Mai 17 Mosque in Boya, southwest region of the country. Well-wishers will hence culminate at various homes for the celebrations proper.
Honorin Cheng ending that report there. On the eve of Eid al-Adha, Marwa in the far north region of Cameroon was alive and busy yesterday with the sounds and sights of preparation ahead of today. The city's ram markets were packed, buyers haggling over prices while sharpened knives lied ready for the sacrifice. For Muslim families, it was more than shopping. It is also about honoring a tradition passed down through generations, faith, sacrifice, and community coming together in one day. Our reporter in Marwa, far north region of Cameroon, Kalsim Bello, visited the sheep and knife market yesterday. He puts together this following report for us on News Hour in the Fufude language.
Min wala min chandira bali mi wari nyamni shede wurta ke yarni hebi boro gidi katina soran dum wattanga mi choppu manni ko man wurtani kam walla nanon banni min ka wala sadirma ka yasles non ka wala wala min kam meme mallan kam dube sera don min bali amin ka wala yasles yo ikka be rawani do yo rawani do wallahi man do wari der dumol sero nyamdu man do man do dum don hoyi seda yo amma ikkaro kam do sat nyamdu dabbaji ban ma chatu wure famare libe mbiye bo tati aya ko nay ay bure tour to buri bo sappo ay nyamdu man chatu
labe ganeji do woru go bita kamala ko brata do e joga ko beldi bo jamdi balejo to derto to macet
Ibrahim kanna bani man tan kaski jota do ku tapanta ko bo su ku tapanna da kir de mun dalla su tapanna bani man be dai mun ka be dai alhamdulillah ndo haba ko gam laare kujeji man go be sargo be sargo ko laarani bali e nayi man fu baade mi laari gama dikka nayi do bali ka d'après ko be mbiyata gam rendiya ko nyamnetema sadir maji min gontindiri haala umde do man kanji min bolwanta hala nyamdu sadi
lumo hikka kam nawe nda sadir maji ngadi nda bali chadi nena wala wodaji be burude itay kanjum sanni dum wodaji be burude itay
tabe rawani kam ni zatam ni wal bali man lu chatum jom bala be borte mere fetel ni amma wa be bo ta panjero ta pantidi alari wanu ka kiba man botte kerke bata bali man dal yom bali amma fatenen go mawno ko amma fatenen go temeri be biata se pamare be mata on adu be sadu waseta.
On to other news, the Senior Divisional Officer for FACO, Enjerbert Viang Mekala, has saluted the efforts of the secondary education stakeholders in FACO Division in the organization of internal affairs of their institutions and the management of school affairs. The SDO made this appraisal during the 2026 Prize Award ceremony at GBHS Limbe that coincided with the launching of the maiden edition of the Benchmark magazine and ex-student union. Details with Kusona Claudia Voma.
The Senior Divisional Officer for FACO, Enjerbert Viang Mekala, has congratulated the principal of GBHS Limbe for the excellent organization in management of the school's affairs. Viang Mekala equally thanked the educational stakeholders for putting together their resources to give the best out of the college.
Good result. I do appreciate the result of the students. I want to also congratulate the students for the good result, for the award, especially the beneficiary of the award, because it shows that the school is well managed.
Accompanied by the divisional delegate for secondary education, Viang Mekala unveiled the cloth to launch the maiden edition of the Benchmark magazine. Other launches include the mayor of the Limbe 1 Council and the president of the PTA and School Management Board and alumni president of the college. Earlier on, while welcoming the population, the principal of GBHS Limbe, Elizabeth Liunga, thanked the senior divisional officer to have shelved every other issue on his calendar to be present for the event. She equally thanked the school's management board and the PTA for the infrastructural support given to the school. She thanked the divisional delegate for secondary education for FACO, Dr. John Efande Liunga, for his relentless and incessant efforts in steering the educational family in FACO. The principal also paid homage to the administrative and teaching staff of the institution, whom she described as men and women with a wealth of experience and rare expertise. Today, GBHS is reputed for quantity and quality results in the certificate examination, producing outstanding candidates with 25 points in the GCA level and 33 points in the ordinary level, including best candidate in back examination in the Southwest region. To the laureates, the principal reminded them not to fall since they are now of standards, keep soaring with wings like eagles, to ride any storm and reach the blue skies, she added. She appreciated the ex-students for their tireless assistance to the school and called on them to come together as a global association with a governing council that encompasses all the badges instead of acting in disparate rank.
I see the different ex-students association in GBHS Limbe as different hands, because as a principal I first had one batch that came and told me they had done an ex-student association, they had done a class association. Another group came and told me they had done theirs. When they come, they bring goodies for the school. They do a lot to assist the school, and we are happy about that. But then I looked at it and I thought that they should have one umbrella to englobe all of them, so that way they can do giant strides, they can carry out major projects.
For the first time, the school anthem was sung, marking the launching of the anthem. Ngoti Leopard Same, an ex-student, is the composer of the anthem. This fourfold ceremony is coming at a defining moment to mark the rise of GBHS Limbe from obscurity to prominence, symbolized in the victory in examination results, pedagogy, discipline and infrastructural rebirth. The name of the school is not just on the gate, it is in the classroom, on the result sheet, and on the lip of the public.
Let's go over to Akwaya, where the people of Akwaya subdivision, southwest region of Cameroon, have joined the rest of the nation to celebrate the 54th edition of the National Day, marked by colorful march parades, cultural displays and renewed calls for peace, unity and development. The event took place under the theme, National Unity, Backbone of One Defense System, Bedrock of Cameroon's Development. Nanga Sonia tells us more in the following report.
The 54th edition of Cameroon's National Day celebration was also commemorated in Akwaya, bringing together administrative authorities, traditional rulers, security forces, students, youth groups and residents in a display of patriotism and unity. Despite the security and accessibility challenges often faced in the subdivision, inhabitants turned out to celebrate the May 20 feast marked by march past, cultural displays and messages of peace and national cohesion. Also present at the May 20 commemoration in Akwaya was the Honorable Member of Parliament, Aka Martin Aka, who thought it wise to spend the day with members of his constituency. The celebration echoed this year's theme, National Unity, Backbone of our Defense System, Bedrock of Cameroon's Development. As in other parts of Cameroon, the event highlighted the importance of living together, resilience and commitment to national integration, especially in communities within the Southwest region. School children, civil society groups and local associations used the occasion to showcase cultural diversity and patriotism. Akwaya is a subdivision in Manu Division of the Southwest region, known for its rich cultural diversity and strategic border position with Nigeria.
Many thanks, Nanga Sonia. On to politics on News Hour today, as the Social Democratic Front Party clocks 36 years after its creation in May 1990. Many opinion polls sees the party's situation in the corridors of politics as limping. This comes at a time when the party has gone through very unhealthy political terrain, especially during the days of the crisis. Mwambo Williams sizes up the SDF situation from birth in the following report.
On May 26, 1990 to May 26, 2026, 36 years ago, Bamenda bled. 6 men and women died on Commercial Avenue. Their crime was joining Nijon Frunzi, asking for another political party, multipartism. May 26, 1990, the Social Democratic Front, SDF, was born in defiance, baptized in blood and legalized only after the regime realized they could not kill an idea. Today, we don't celebrate a party. We audit a promise made by Nijon Frunzi in 1990. I quote, "We have come to tell Mr. Biya that enough is enough. The people want change, and we are ready to die for it. From these 6 martyrs, the SDF became the first real opposition party in 24 years of one-party rule. So where is SDF after 36 years? It broke the one-party wall, that is fact. Biya signed the multi-party law 7 months after Bamenda blood spilled. That is legacy. But legacy doesn't govern. The SDF sold Cameroon a dream: federalism, power to the people, accountability. Today, Bamenda is ghost town, not from VMO protests, but from bullet. The federalism debate the SDF championed was banned by ministerial decree in 2017. The party that was born to give Anglophones a voice now holds rallies in French, while its base can't vote without military escorts. And when war came to the northwest and southwest, the party of power to the people had no power to stop it. Its MPs sits in a parliament the people call illegitimate. Its mayors run councils that can't collect trash without army clearance. Ni John Frundi is gone. The Bamenda 6 are gone. The question for the SDF at 36 is simple. Was May 26, 1990, the birth of democracy, or just the day Cameroon learned how to mourn? Until this question is answered, May 26 will remain what it was on day 1. So here is the debate we put for you to cross-view. Can Ni John Frundi and the Bamenda 6 martyrs resurrect with the SDF during the upcoming multiple elections?
If you're just tuning in, this is News Hour you're listening to on Royal Television. We now take you out of the country where Ugandan health authorities are intensifying Ebola containment measures in the capital city, Kampala, after new confirmed cases sparked fears of wider transmission, prompting increased surveillance, contact tracing, and public health awareness campaigns. Plus, hundreds of thousands of Muslim pilgrims gathered at Mount Arafat under intense desert heat on Tuesday, performing one of the most sacred rituals of the annual Hajj pilgrimage in Saudi Arabia. Nanga Sonia has a foreign page.
Uganda has intensified health screening and public safety measures in the capital Kampala after confirming 2 new Ebola cases, bringing the total number of infections in the country to 7 since the outbreak was declared on May 15. The latest patients are Ugandan health workers employed at a private medical facility in Kampala, according to the health ministry. Both have been admitted to a designated treatment unit where they are receiving care. Authorities say contact tracing is underway and have urged the public to immediately report anyone showing symptoms associated with the virus. At Mulago National Specialized Hospital in Kampala, visitors are being screened by health workers as the government ramps up efforts to contain the outbreak. Despite growing concern, some residents expressed confidence in the government's handling of the situation. Medical workers also pointed to the speed of the government's response. Others, however, called for tighter border controls, particularly with neighboring Democratic Republic of Congo, where the outbreak has been most severe. The World Health Organization says more than 900 suspected Ebola cases and over 200 suspected deaths have been recorded in the Democratic Republic of Congo, the epicenter of the outbreak. Uganda last week suspended all public transport links to the DRC after confirming Ebola cases involving Congolese nationals who crossed the border. Ebola is a highly infectious viral disease spread through direct contact with body fluids, and it can cause severe bleeding, organ failure, and death if not contained quickly. Pilgrims gathered at Mount Arafat for spiritual peak of Hajj amid intense heat. More than 1.5 million Muslim pilgrims gathered at Saudi Arabia's Mount Arafat on Tuesday for the most significant ritual of the Hajj pilgrimage, enduring sweltering temperatures as they prayed for forgiveness, mercy, and peace amid regional uncertainty. Muslim pilgrims from around the world converged on Mount Arafat in Saudi Arabia Tuesday, marking the spiritual climax of the annual Hajj pilgrimage. Despite intense heat, heat, worshippers gathered on the rocky hill and surrounding plains for hours of prayer and reflection, seeking forgiveness and blessings in what many consider the most sacred moment of Hajj. Unlike previous years, many pilgrims choose to pray indoors in air-conditioned areas around the Namira Mosque as temperatures soared. Others used umbrellas to shield themselves from the sun while performing rituals outdoor. Hajj, one of the 5 pillars of Islam, is mandatory once in a lifetime for Muslims who are physically and financially able to undertake the journey. For many pilgrims, reaching Mount Arafat represents the fulfillment of a lifelong dream. Pilgrims traditionally spend the day in deep prayer, often raising their hands in worship with tears streaming down their faces as they seek and ask God for mercy and the erasure of past sins. Saudi authorities say more than 1.5 million pilgrims arrived from abroad this year, with worshippers coming from across the Muslim world despite uncertainty in the region linked in the Iran conflict and fragile ceasefire efforts. For many, Hajj is both a collective and deeply personal experience, bringing together Muslims of different nationalities, languages, and backgrounds in a shared act of faith.
We apologize for that little breaking transmission. It's still news that is running on Royal Television. Let's now talk sports. On this newscast, the race for continental glory is heating up at the Total Energies CAF Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations as Egypt, Tanzania, Morocco and Senegal have booked their places in the semi-finals after overcoming tough quarter-final tests, moving one step closer to lifting Africa's most prestigious youth football crown. Details with Kusona Claudia Voma.
The semi-final fixtures for the 2026 Total Energies CAF Under-17 Africa Cup of Nations have been confirmed following an action-packed day for quarter-final matches on Sunday. Host Morocco National Under-17 football team will face defending champion Senegal National Under-17 football team in a highly anticipated last-four clash, while Egypt National Under-17 football team will take on surprise package Tanzania National Under-17 football team. All 4 teams had already secured qualifications for the FIFA Under-17 World Cup after reaching the quarterfinals, but Sunday's matches determined who will continue the pursuit of continental glory. Host nation Morocco National Under-17 football team kept their title ambitions alive with a hard-fought 1-0 victory over Cameroon Under-17 national football team at the Mohammed V Football Complex. Mohamed Habib Zinbi scored the decisive goal in the 17th minute, calming finishing into the bottom corner after Morocco's goalkeeper Ryan Yacoubi had earlier denied Cameroon with an important save. Morocco will now face Senegal National Under-17 football team, who advanced after a dramatic quarter-final encounter against Mali. The young Lions of Teranga held their nerve to win 4-2 on penalties following a tense 1-1 draw played under difficult circumstances after Senegal were reduced to 10 men. Goalkeeper Assane Sarr emerged as the hero during the shootout, saving from Abubakar Maiga to send Senegal into the semi-finals. On the other side of the draw, Tanzania National Under-17 football team continued their impressive run in the tournament by defeating Algerian National Under-17 football team 4-3 on penalties after an entertaining 3-3 draw. In one of the most thrilling matches of the competition, Algeria twice took the lead before Tanzania mounted spirited comebacks to force the game into a shootout. Tanzania eventually prevailed with the spot to secure a historic and heroic semi-final place. They will now face Egypt national team, who delivered their most dominant quarter-final performance with a convincing 4-1 victory over Cote d'Ivoire in the quarterfinals. Khalid Mokhtar scored twice for the young Pharaohs, who raced into control with 3 first-half goals to comfortably secure their passage into the last 4. The semi-final will take place on Thursday, May 28 at the Moulay El Hassan Stadium in Rabat. Egypt national team will face Tanzania at 5 p.m. local time before Senegal national team will take on Morocco at 8 p.m. The winners will progress to the final schedule for Tuesday, June 2, while the defeated teams will contest the 3rd place on Monday, June 1.
In Boya this morning, like other parts of Cameroon, Muslim faithful gathered at the Central Mosque to mark the Feast of the Sacrifice. Led by the Chief Imam of the Boya Central Mosque, Alhaji Mohammed Abubakar, prayers and sermons filled the air with a call to live by one message, respecting the laws of Allah. Out of Cameroon, we told you that Ugandan health authorities are intensifying Ebola containment measures in the capital, Kampala, after new confirmed cases sparked fears of wider transmission, prompting increased surveillance, contact tracing, and public health awareness campaigns. And in sports, Egypt, Tanzania, Morocco, and Senegal are through to the Under-17 AFCON semi-finals after hard-fought quarter-finals wins. Thank you so much for being part of News Hour today. Catch you tomorrow, same time, same channel for another edition of News.